Welcome everybody to our Team Dare to Dream Determination Nation Team Super Sister Call. And if you are part of Team Dare to Dream, shake your hands, make some noise. You're all muted, so it's just me. And if you're part of Determination Nation, say what? I didn't hear that. Let's do it. Let's see the head bob. Alexis, Jen, Kara. She's like, yeah, I can do it. I've seen Kara dance. I know she can do that. All right. Well, I'm so glad you joined us tonight live. And for those of you that are listening recorded, this will be awesome too. I really wanted to talk about the basics tonight because as I look at a lot of new coaches coming on board and even some of our seasoned coaches, I really think that you know what you need to do. I mean, you know about inviting, you know those things, but it's just mastering those basics. It's actually doing them that is really, I think, the difference maker. So before I get into talking a lot about that, and this actually flows right into it, I wanted to share some insights from the Go Pro Recruiting Mastery Conference, which was really, really incredible. Because, first of all, there was 20,000 people there. It's the largest gathering of network marketing professionals in the world. Last year, there were 8,000 at this event. This year, there were 20,000. Who knows how many there will be next year? He's anticipating that it'll sell out of the space because we were pretty full in the space already. But it's a rapidly growing industry, and network marketing is an industry. It's an industry. Just like oil is an industry, and food manufacturing and cars and steel, it's an industry, and it's an amazing growing industry. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really feel like, especially the industry we're in with health and fitness, that it's kind of economically proof, like recession proof. I mean, there's ups and downs in the economy, there's cost of living, and if you're working at a regular job, you know what you get paid and the benefits and the bonuses that you get and the raises that you get. It's all kind of like, this, depending upon what the economy's doing. But when you're in a business like network marketing, and particularly in the health and fitness, people always need to take care of themselves. And with network marketing, you are not subject to the ups and downs of a regular business. I mean, you can really set the pace on how much money you want to make. And that's a lot of what we talked about in this industry or at this conference was how to be a professional network marketer. And it's interesting because it's the same in every business. There's a lot of different companies in health and wellness, but we are the only company in health and fitness, I'll have you know. We're the only one in health and fitness, so that's a difference maker. But whether it's the beauty or it's, the big industries that I saw there were beauty and health and wellness. There was like the legal aid type of thing. There was companies I've never even heard of, and I'm looking them up and, because you're not supposed to talk about your business there. You don't talk names of products, and you are not allowed to bring in any branded wear. So I cannot wear my 21 Day Fix hoodie. I could not take my Shakeology shaker bottle. I could not wear my P90X bag. So it's very strict. And actually, there was one person that was asked to leave because they found his marketing brochures in the bathroom. And actually, they got on stage, Eric Worre, and they called his name and said, "Mr. So-and-so, we found your brochures with your name on them in the restroom, and we're going to need to ask you to leave. Please step up and tell us, show yourself, or we'll have you know that all of our staff will be looking for you." They said in the 8 years they've been doing this, I think they've only had to ask like 5 people to leave, and now it's 6. So it's pretty strict. But as the speakers were talking, I got on Google and I looked up to see, you know, what business they were in. Because just for grins, just because you kind of want to know. But everybody does things. I mean, the basics are the basics, no matter what business you're in. So that's one of the really interesting things about this. But I just went through all of my pages of notes, and I just pulled out one page of things I wanted to share with you. And one of the quotes, the very opening quotes was, "In a world that tells you you are ordinary, network marketing allows you to be extraordinary." Because it's a totally level playing field when you start. You do not have to have a specific background, a specific education, a specific skill set. I mean, Eric Worre did not graduate from college. He did not go to college at all. I mean, we had people in there that, you know, dropped out of high school, and and all of them don't recommend that. They're not, don't do that. But it doesn't matter, you know, in a world where, you know, people are saying, oh, you know, you're not going to amount to anything. You know, you're not that kind of person. Yeah, you really should just stick with what you know. And, you know, you're not really good enough to do something like that. And, you know, that's really the best you can hope for. Network marketing is a world that says you can do anything you want to do. You can be as extraordinary as you want to be. And that is a gift, because we don't have enough extraordinary in this world. Every single person has the ability to be extraordinary, but we have had that beaten out of us. You know, and another example they used a lot, and this is kind of a different topic, but talking about, you know, how do we get to be extraordinary? Because we try. We try over and over and over and over again. But yet in the normal world, you try something a couple times and then people, oh, you know, that's fine. You know, that's not your thing. You should just stop. You know, you're not good at that. Or then you start telling yourself that, well, I suck. I'm no good at that. I can't do that. I tried a couple times and I failed, and oh, it was really embarrassing because everybody laughed at me, and now they're laughing at me because I'm trying it again. Well, I'm just going to stop. You know, and they gave the example of, you know, a baby when they learn to walk. How many times do they fall down? What if we told them after the 20th time, yeah, you better just stop doing that. You know, you're no good at walking. You should just crawl for the rest of your life. Babies keep trying until they get it. That's the mentality that we're born with. So when did that get beaten out of us? When did that happen that we said, no, now it's not good enough to try till I get it. Now I'm going to stop at a certain point, you know? So that was one thing that just kept coming up a lot. Here's the top 3 factors to being successful in network marketing, as according to Eric Worre. Develop the mental toughness. You've got to have mental toughness. And that's that whole failing until you succeed mentality. You know, he called it I don't know if it was Eric or somebody else, but the millionaire mindset. You know, you don't get to be a millionaire by playing it safe. Sir Eric Branson talked on the last day. And I mean, if you have followed that man, I mean, talk about failures. That man has like almost died, you know, how many times on his adventures. I mean, he's almost like a real life Tony Stark from Iron Man. I mean, he's just like lives this bigger than life, and he always has. But he hasn't succeeded at everything he did, right? But you got to have that millionaire mindset, that mental toughness that says, you know, no matter what, I know I can. And that's why you have to be surrounded by people that feel the same way, because the world wants you to be average. And I'm not saying that as a conspiracy theory. It kind of sounds like it, but it's the truth. You know, 90% or more are okay with being okay. And that's what we were brought up to be, is okay. Yeah, when we were little, maybe your parents said, oh, you can be anything you want to be. And then when you start being, you know, well, I wanted to be a dancer on Broadway. You know, I'm not saying my parents didn't encourage me, but, you know, somewhere in my mind, I thought, well, that's just, you know, that's just not many people succeed at that. You know, I really shouldn't take that kind of risk. I should just go to college and get that safe job. I mean, when did it go from you can be everything you want to be to here's really what you should be? You know, so mental mindset, mental toughness. Number 2, you've got to be strategic. And that means you have to have a game plan. And that's what I laid out for you guys with our December plan, where I said, let's, you know, today was Transformation Tuesday Blitz. Who blitzed? Anybody besides me? Did you blitz? I still have more blitzing to do. I mean, there's so many amazing transformation stories to share, and that's what inspires people. But you've got to have a game plan. And then, you know, that's why, you know, you need to know for December, when are we going to launch that? You know, what's next? January, we have the health bet coming up. You need to be planning now how you're going to promote that. And I'm going to share all of that with you guys. I've already shared the plan, but as I roll out each part of the plan, I'll be sharing my posts. I mean, I've already created the event. I'll be sharing the scripts that I use. I will be sharing my plan with you, but you have to always have a plan. You don't ever go into a new month not knowing what your month is going to look like, right? That's strategic. And number 3, you got to master the basics. 3 things: mental toughness, be strategic, and master the basics. And what are the basics? Inviting, prospecting, following up, closing, training your new coaches, and duplicating yourself and your leaders. And number 7 is promoting events. Aren't you glad we don't have to do like events like house parties and stuff? I mean, we have Super Saturday, like, right, Jen? That's like the biggest event we have to plan. But aren't you glad we aren't in that business where we have to do those kind of like parties? Like Jen Arias. If I'm late, it's because I didn't want to come. I don't want to have a party. I don't want to have a face-to-face meeting with people. And those are the basics for network marketing. Do those basics sound very familiar? Do you think that Beachbody just came up with these things? It's industry-wide standards. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the basics, but some other 3 things that somebody else, I didn't write down who all said all this stuff, but I love it. Again, when you're in network marketing and when you're building this business as an entrepreneur, seek to serve. Always seek to serve and give more than you get. Does that sound a lot like what Carl Deichler asks us to do? Is that what coaches do? We seek to serve, you know, and whenever we start to think it's all about us, like it's all about our Success Club points and it's all about, you know, are we going to hit that goal? We need to turn the frown upside down and seek to serve and think about the people that we're serving. Because if you always approach things from that mindset, you will always have abundance. You will. You have to have faith in that. This is a giving business. Network marketing, if done right, is a beautiful giving business. It's about raising people up, not only with the products and services that you offer, but also with the business opportunity. And our business is about giving, right? Giving health and fitness and confidence and vitality and energy and happiness and fulfillment. So many things. Number 3, always add value. It's very much like number 1, but always add value. Always look for ways to add value. So that's what we do with our free groups, right? We're always trying to add more value. Now, we also don't want to shortchange the value that we have in our challenge groups with Shakeology and our professional, expert-driven workout programs, but we can add value in other ways. You add value by being a friend. You add value by letting people know that when they say no to your challenge group, you still like them and that you're still going to talk to them. None of this, you're dead to me. It's no, we're still friends. That's how you add value, by letting people know you care about them. One of the things we got out of this was, how many people can you make feel important every day? Because people have this invisible sign on their head that says, make me feel important. Every single person. And when you approach the world from that mindset, it was really interesting because I'm a huge introvert, and that means I'm kind of into my head a lot, right? But I found myself, as I was in Vegas and in hotels and on elevators, that after sitting through all this, I started talking to people in the elevator, and I started commenting on them, and I started looking people in the eye, and I started smiling, and I started just kind of, you know, think about if we did that every day. Some of you, that's probably natural for you. For me, I have to think about it. But gosh, I felt so good when I did it. And I was with my husband, John, and like I would, you know, I did a couple of times on the elevator and the people got off, and I was like, did you see that? Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm just, you know, giving, I'm just making, you know, I'm just doing this. That feels good. So always give, always add value to people's lives. Try to make people feel important. I actually wrote that down as one of my to-dos on my daily to-do list. Is make 10 people feel important every day. And just by doing that, reaching out to people. Like sometimes, you know, I'll just send a message, and some of you may have received it. Like, hey, how can I make your day today? How can I just help you feel even more amazing today? And you know what? Sometimes people will say, you know, just by asking me that, I just feel more amazing. And sometimes they'll actually tell you, this is really what I need to feel more amazing. And then you have the opportunity to give. And number 3, feed your mind. Oh my gosh. It's really interesting. We heard from, I don't even know how many speakers. I mean, it was just like, I won't say hundreds, but a lot. Like 20-minute presentations from a lot of different 7-figure earners. And every single one of them talked about this. Every single one. And you notice the very first thing I said was developmental mindset, millionaire mindset. If you don't do this, then you don't got nothing. Because none of us, I have yet to meet anybody. I will just say that. I think it's true. I have yet to meet anybody that is wired to seek the extraordinary, to seek their greatness. I have met very few people who even realize they have greatness in them. So there's a lot of work to be done. And I start with myself on that because you know my story. I came from a pretty ungreat place, and I had a lot of really mean mental self-talk going on in my head from a very young age. I mean, it is hard work, and you have to work at that every day. Mental toughness, mental mindset, it does not just happen. And you are not surrounded by people in your everyday life that are building that up for you. You're not. You have to do that. You have to intentionally feed your mind. The average network marketer does not hear the word no enough. The average network marketer does not hear the word no enough. The successful network marketer hears the word no multiple times every day. So you've heard me say, Go for Knowing Yes is the Destination. That's a book. I didn't write it, but you know, we've kind of at times said, okay, let's see how many no's we can get today. Who can be the first person to get to 100 no's? I am serious. That's a serious challenge. If you intentionally sought 100 no's every week, oh my gosh, your business would be amazing. Because you know how many people you'd have to talk to? It's hard to get a no. It really kind of is. You will find, you go out and you set yourself a challenge to get 100 no's, you will be asking people to join your challenge groups till next February, next March, next summer. Because people don't really say no. They say not now. They say maybe later. They say, oh, I don't have enough. My car broke down. There's a lot of not nows, but there's not very many no's. No means lose my phone number. Don't ever contact me again. I think you're a spazzo. Has anybody ever gotten one of those kind of responses? I think I have maybe once or twice. They didn't call me a spazzo, but they just said, I'm not interested. And, you know, at all, like never, ever, never, ever. We're never, ever, ever getting back together. We're never doing a challenge ever. So there's a lot of work you have to do to get to a no. And if you're asking lots and lots of people, you will find a yes. There's a podcast or a video, YouTube. I've talked about it before, but it was a guy that I can't remember the story. I don't want to go into it, but you know, he he had gotten turned down for a job or a loan or something, whatever. It was this big thing, and he had everything banking on it, and he got turned down, and he was feeling like, nothing, like everything's over. I'm worthless. I'm like so bad. And then he decided to turn his front upside down, and he said, okay, I'm going to go see, how many times I can get rejected, because the whole premise is we're going to just like callous ourselves to rejection. That was his whole thing. It's like, okay, that hurt really bad to get rejected like that. So I'm just going to go out, how do I toughen myself up? Well, I'm just going to go seek rejection. I'm going to seek it, seek it, seek it. And I think he had that, I don't remember if it was 100 or what, but he went on this mission and people didn't say no to him. Like he would ask the strangest things. Like, he would go and knock on somebody's door and say, can I play soccer? Like, can I kick the soccer ball around in your backyard? A complete stranger. They said yes. He went into the Dunkin' Donuts. It was the Olympics. Can I have some donuts made in the shape of the Olympic rings? They said yes. Just crazy stuff. People don't say no. They say not now. So you need to be hearing no a lot more if you want to be successful. Raise your hand if you fear the word no. If when you get ready to type an invite, you're like, oh, what if they say no? You're not raising your hand. That's okay. You do? You feel that way? Like, oh my gosh. Okay, I want you right now to ask yourself, why do you feel that way? You can type the response if you want. Why do you feel that way? What is a no going to do to you? Why would they tell you no? Why do you think they would tell you no? Do you think they're going to tell you no because they don't like you? What does a no mean to you in your head? Does it mean they don't like me? Does it mean they think I'm stupid? They think I'm trying to sell them something? You're trying to sell them health and fitness, right? So, Zia, are you crazy? Where's Zia? Where'd you go? Are you crazy? Does it matter if they don't like what you're saying? Are you saying something that's nice? Do you come from a place of giving? If they think you're crazy, so what? They don't. When I started this business, I asked we asked our friends, to, do the business. We talked to them about the fitness. I got a world full of no's. Nada. Not one of my friends engaged in the business. They don't use the products. I'm sure they think I'm crazy. But I don't care. They're still my friends, right? But I don't know. I'm not waiting to get fired from my job. I'm not worrying that I'm going to get fired because, I accidentally logged into, eBay on the work internet instead of my personal internet. I'm not worried that, I don't have to ask my boss if I can have an extra day off because my mom is sick, even though I've used all my PTO. I'm going on a trip to Punta Cana next spring. I've just got back from Vegas. I don't know. If they think I'm crazy, well, I bet they wish they were crazy too. And my husband, his health, his fitness, my health, my fitness, if they think I'm crazy for doing what I'm doing, if they think we're crazy, well, we'll just keep being crazy because we're healthy and we're happy and we're financially secure. And you always come from a place of giving. So you have to have yourself a mental pep talk. Whenever you sit down to invite, that's when you've got to, have yourself some go-do reading. Like Grant Cardone, the 10X rule. That's a really great one. You should listen to that on audio. There's one of my favorite chapters, Don't Be a Little Bitch. I love that chapter. You can just plug that in every time before you sit down to invite and remind yourself. It doesn't matter. Whatever people say, it's about them and not you. If they think you're crazy, it's because they don't understand. If they think you're trying to sell them something, it's because they don't know that you have something that really could help a lot of people. Maybe it's not for them, but it is for somebody else. So that's the kind of mental toughness you have to start developing. Let's see what else we have over here. Oh, we got lots of stuff. If you hate to be sold to, then don't sell. I had a coach that was, like, oh, I keep getting all these messages from my friends and they're just like so salesy. I'm like, well, then don't do that. Don't be like that. See the messages that you don't like and don't send messages like that. If you use the kind of scripts that I recommend and that Jen recommends, then you are not going to be salesy. You're not going to be selling people stuff. You're going to be asking if you can help them. Is there a product at the end of it? Yes, there is. Does every single business in this world have sales involved? Yes. Do teachers have to sell? Yes, they have to sell lessons and education to their students every single day. Do doctors sell? Yeah, they have to sell patients on making the right choices. They have businesses. Every single business has an element of sales to it. So yes, we are in business, and yes, there are sales at the end of our business chain. Does that mean it's bad? Does that mean we need to apologize because we're asking our friends if they want to buy something from us that is very helpful to their lives? No. Now, I know a lot of people, I myself, sales. I don't like sales. I never wanted to do sales. I feel really uncomfortable with sales. I was in the sales and marketing department at my company, and I remember, the salespeople made so much money. They made so much money. And I'm like, and I was, on a, when I first started, I was in a, administrative position. And even when I was a vice president, though, salespeople still made tons more money. And I really wish that I had that gift. I'm like, man, because I'd like to make that kind of money. But I didn't have that kind of gift, or so I thought. But you know what? When I am presenting something that I feel passionately about, then it never feels like I'm trying to sell something. It only feels like I'm trying to help somebody have a better life. And that's what you are doing. So again, mental toughness. You've got to shift your mindset. Let's see. If people don't say yes, then why are you taking it on yourself? I should have known Kelly would say that. If I don't explain it right, that's why they said no. It could be. If you think you didn't explain it right, then ask. Say, I'm not sure I explained this the right way, and I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I just want to make sure I give you the right information. But remember, Kelly, successful network marketers hear the word no hundreds of times a day, tens of 20s of times a day. So no is not a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing at all. So, go ahead, Jen.
I don't know how I got off mute. This is Jen.
I know, I can hear you typing.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was off mute. Guys, if we're offering value and other things besides just a product, then they're not going to feel like we're just selling to them. They're going to feel like we're supporting them in the journey that they want to be on. If they don't want to be on, if they're not ready, they're simply going to tell you. But so many of my customers that are in, they take advantage of my free groups, and I ensure that I am strategic also about my posting on social media, because Deb mentioned being strategic with this business. You also have to think about what you're posting. And I don't just randomly post every thought I have in my head like a lot of people do with social media. I ensure that it's strategic, that it is going to provide value. I think about what can I offer to people today to help them. And it's not always tied to let me sell them something, or I never post a link directly on Facebook. To me, that's salesy. So when I'm sitting down to master the basics and do the inviting component and the follow-up component, it doesn't feel that way to me, because it's a sincere invite to whatever I have to offer, whether it be a free group or a challenge group. So that's kind of the way that I have overcome, because initially I was probably doing it the wrong way, and maybe it felt a little bit like I was being salesy, but it's a learning process. and it totally can be learned by anyone. That's why Deb and I, put time into sharing scripts with you guys and doing power hours to show you the right way to invite people to challenge groups and to other things.
They talked a lot about the power of why, again, and connecting with your why and knowing why you're doing this. And if you're connected to your why and you're connected to who you are, you will never, ever feel like you're selling ever again. And that's something that a new coach, we don't expect you to get all that. That comes with time. Just like Jen said, same here. I mean, if I go back and look at my Facebook posts from 2011 when I was a new coach, they're so different than they are today. I felt a lot more, I was doing a lot more selling when I was a new coach. And I was posting links to my website and I was saying, gosh, I'm like, really? I'm like, oh my gosh, but it was, and I didn't get any responses on those things either. So it comes with time, but the best thing you can do is to start off by thinking about who you want to be. And if you really want to be a person that people views as caring, as inspirational, as funny, as family friendly, right? Whatever you want your people to think of you as, then be that person. See, that's why I like doing our business on social media, because I can be the best version of myself. I'm naturally an introvert. I'm naturally not super charismatic. But on Facebook and on social media, I can be my best me. I can let all those things that I want to be and that I think about and that I feel, I can put those out there, right? And so I just think it's a beautiful thing. And the interesting thing about it is building your network marketing business on social media is still relatively new. So a lot of these companies that were there, 40 years in the business, I mean, they're just now learning how to do social media. And really, Beachbody, at the very, very beginning, 10 years ago, it wasn't such a big thing, but the majority of, I think, coaches these days are totally doing it on social media. So we already have a leg up. We're already in this space and we already get it, right? So that's Jen and I gave you some good advice on selling. That's just something you're going to have to get confident with. You have to kind of fake it till you make it. You have to believe it till you see it, till you feel it. Believe it till you feel it. You have to believe us when we say, you have to approach things from that caring perspective, and know that, if somebody ever tries to make you feel guilty for offering a product for sale, then you need to take a deep breath, take the high road. Don't respond right away. Because this is, or else you're going to sink away and you're going to like, oh my gosh, my worst fear came true. They think I'm a salesperson. Well, number one person saying something to you does not a truth make, right? And number two, maybe it's feedback to you. Maybe you need to look at your approach as, well, did I come across a little too strong? Or did I, or maybe it's just them. Some people know that they're just jaded. They're skeptical, right? That's just it. It's not about you. It's about them. 99.99% of the times, people's reaction to you is really not about you. It's about them. Okay. I love this one. As a network marketer, you get to develop greatness in others, and greatest leaders start as the greatest followers. And that is so true. And so that's why, again, going back to the basics, we have a new coach kickstart going on right now in Team Dare to Dream. There's some people in there, but there's not too many people commenting. So if you have any coaches in there, say, hey, the best way to learn is to follow the leader. That's what I did. That's what Jen did. That is one of my 5 difference makers that I talk about when I say the difference makers from being a here today coach and a gone tomorrow coach is follow the leader, do what you're told to do. Success leaves tracks. And some of you, may have a lot of confidence in yourself as a leader, And those of you that do may not reach out enough. You may hold back from engaging with myself or Jen or your upline because you don't want to look needy, or you think you should know that. That's just as debilitating as the opposite, which is being like not doing any of the training, but just asking all these questions, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like people, they want all the answers, but they don't want to do the work. I mean, you have to find that you have to do the work. And some of, you know, this is called a business, and business does have an element of work to it, right? So yeah, if you want to be good at this business, you have to know your trade. You have to know your craft. You have to know your business. And Coach Kickstart, the Coach Basics, teaches you Beachbody 101, teaches you some of those boring details like the compensation plan, like how to place a new coach so that you make the most of the team cycle volume. It teaches you things like how to navigate through your coach online office. Teaches you things like what are the requirements for being a part of our league program. Yes, these are all really cool things you need to know to be successful, but it's not always so fun to learn them. But you still need to learn them. Take ownership of that. This one guy he talked about, he said, I see dead people every day. I see dead people every day. They are chained. He called it the matrix. They are like chained in the matrix. And he said, when you ask people what, you know, he said, try asking somebody, why do you do what you do? You know, just, you know, hey, you know, a school teacher, the bus driver, the Uber driver, you know, the person at the convenience store, you know, why do you do what you do? Really, seriously. And they're going to give you some answer. No, seriously, why do you do this? Why did you choose this job? Most people don't know why they're doing what they're doing. And most people will say, because it's a paycheck. It's a paycheck. I need the, you know, it pays the bills. It pays the bills. I see dead people. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. Just because it is that way for most people, it doesn't have to be that way. And there are people that love what they do. They do. They do. They love, and I don't know who on the phone here loves what they do. Raise your hand. Jen, she loves what she does, but she loves doing who she does it with, and it's family business. That's great. But a lot of you, I mean, I won't say a lot of you, but how many of you are working because it pays the bills? Here's a factoid. 80% of people in network marketing will make $0 to $2,500 a month. The 0 doesn't sound so great, but the 2,500 sounds kind of cool, right? That's a big range. That's 80%. If you made $2,500 a month, if you were on that high end of that range, I don't know if that would pay all the bills, but it would give you a great start. 15% of network marketers make $25,000 to $25,000 a month. And then 5% make $25,000 a month or more. So the question is, how do you get to be in that top 20% of network marketers? Because that's the pay the bills part. That's the pay the bills category. That takes a burning desire to succeed. The burning desire. And you've heard me talk about get fierce, the why that makes you cry. That came up from other people. I like that whole fierce. You know, what do you feel fierce about? I mean, for me, I was fierce to succeed because I didn't want to work in corporate America anymore. It was killing me. It was absolutely killing me. You know, with this business, you can do what you want to do, when you want to do it, for how long as you want to do it, where you want to do it, with whom you want to do it, and make the money that you want to make doing it. And I'm talking, you guys might be thinking, oh my gosh, can I really do that? I know you do. You've all got these things inside of you that are self-limiting beliefs. And that was the Tony Robbins presentation. And I'm not even going to go into all those pages of notes, because your self-limiting beliefs is a whole nother topic. And that's called, what are you putting in your head? Oh my gosh, that was like 4.5 hours of the best stuff ever. I mean, it was just crazy. But if you want to be in the top 20%, you got to have a burning desire to succeed. And I know some of you I've talked with and you're like, I don't really know that I have that. You know, if you don't, you don't, right? You got to have a work ethic like nobody's business. I mean, we heard that at Summit when Melanie Mitra said, you got to outwork the competition. I mean, we heard that over and over and over again. Somebody asked me today, so from what I'm seeing in the videos, it looks like if I want to build a really successful business, I really just need to focus on having 3 new customers a month. I'm like, no, that's to have a baseline business. If you want to have a very thriving business, you've got to do way more than the minimum, right? So it takes steps getting there, right? I mean, so you set your goals. You say, okay, I'm going to start out. And that's why we ask you, what are your first month goals? What are your first 6 months goals? What are your first, because, to think about going in and making $25,000 a month, like your first month as a coach, you're like, oh my God, it's like, I can't do that. I can never do that. But what about $250? And what about $1,000? And go in those increments. And then you have to be coachable. There that whole thing is in. Got to be a good follower. To be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. So be coachable. Jen and I, we put a lot of stuff out there. I mean, sometimes I'll do live videos on our team page and nobody even comments on them. I'm like, okay, I don't know. That was apparently not worth anybody's time. I know there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of information, but really staying tuned into your tribe is really super important. And, just be coachable and ask questions and seek knowledge and own what you learn. Know what you need to learn. Know how to go find it. I mean, that's my biggest thing as a mentor is I want to teach you how to be independent. I want to teach you how to find information. And so, yes, I expect you to, do the work. When I give you information and I tell you where it is, I want you to go seek it and find it, because that's how you become powerful. That's how you become a leader. That's how you can duplicate yourself, because this business, residual income, is all about the teamwork makes the dream work. And that's why the guy that said, I see dead people, he was a very successful chiropractor. He did that for, 20 years. And he was in some kind of a skiing accident and injured his neck. And all of a sudden he's like, what do I do if I can't do what I do anymore? What do I do? Because, can he still do, he was there at this conference with he had just had a steel plate put in his neck, and he said that was kind of his wake up call about, what would my family do? Because when I'm not adjusting people, I don't make any money. And you think, oh, chiropractor, they've got a high job. Yeah, he paid lots of money for his degree, but if he's not working, he doesn't get paid. And then somebody talks to him about network marketing. He's like, but I'm a chiropractor. I have a degree. I have letters behind my name. Why would I want to do that? I think they had that conversation maybe before the accident. And then he had the accident. It was kind of like it came together. So backwards. But you know what I'm saying. So it's kind of interesting. This business is about saying yes to what you used to have to say no to. I think that's really amazing. I mean, think about, again, you've heard so many stories from Beachbody coaches, but same thing about, I remember Elise Hubbard, her story when she and her kids were on WIC, and she said, I remember going to the grocery store and my son wanted strawberries. And I had to tell him, no, you can't have strawberries. You had to have the apples, because she couldn't afford the strawberries. And today with this business, she can say yes to what she used to have to say no to. And that's a very small example, but it's the same thing. I told, we've achieved so much with this business. It's just, our life has been so blessed. But, I told my husband, I said, what I envision, our future, every time I kind of think about this vision for our future, is saying yes to taking our kids on a trip over Christmas vacation kind of surprising them with that and not having to worry about the astronomical airfares and hotel rates for travel during the holidays. And the same with spring break. I mean, those are the times they get off school, right? Yet that's the most expensive time to travel. I said, you know, I want to be able to just say yes to things like that and not have to worry that it's just, you know, crazy, super expensive, you know, especially with our kids in college now. I mean, they're not home. These are the times we have to be together with them before they go off and get married. And instead of 4 of them or 3 of them, they're 6 that we have to figure out how to take on a vacation, or they take us on a vacation. That's even better. So finally, let's get real quick to the basics. And I've given you a lot of information, and you're like, where's the basics? That's all the basics. I mean, I started off with, you know, we could have been at a Beachbody conference and them telling us about the vital behaviors. The basics are the basics. With Beachbody, it starts out with being a product of the product. You work out, you drink your shake, and you tell everybody about it every day. That's the basic. Do you post your workout every day on Facebook? No. That's honest. That's honest. I have a coach friend that's helping me out with the what to post stuff I've been posting, and her challenge was, you know, instead of just doing a sweaty selfie, and I posted this in our group, how do you, you know, do that so it's not just, I mean, you know, how do you stand out? Yes, it takes more time. It takes a little more time. But when she challenged her team to do that, I challenged myself, and I'm like, I do a lot of those. I do a lot of that. It's not bad once in a while, but when I did my post yesterday, after she had challenged and I intentionally did a different kind of post, I got such great feedback on that. So, you know, how do I do that stuff? I prop my phone up. I have a self timer on my iPhone, as you all do too. I put it on 10 seconds, and if I'm doing a punch and a kick, or I will put it on video, and I'll video myself doing a move, and then I will slow freeze frame it until I find the exact shot that I like I did yesterday, and I'll just put some words on it. It takes a little time, but post every single day. You're in the business of fitness. And I know some of you, if I would go to your Facebook page, I wouldn't even know that you even work out. I'd have to scroll down, you know, like 10, 20 posts to see that. You got to tell everybody about it every single day. It's your own personal accountability. They have these things called vlogs, video logs, video blogs. Well, that's what your Facebook page is. It's your V-blog or F-blog or whatever. You tell everybody about your fitness journey. Make it interesting, make it fun, make fun of yourself. Don't always look pretty, but don't look like, you know, look at your pictures before you post them, right? And then you have to talk to people every day. You talk to people who show interest when you post those pictures. When they click like or comment on your pictures, then you message them and say, hey, thanks so much for your support on my whatever picture. You know, did you know I'm hosting a health bet challenge come January? Do you have any fit goals you'd like to tackle with me? That's what I do. Is that what you do, Jen? Yeah. That's what I do. And then talking to people every day is your strategy. Here's your game plan. You seek to find people who are interested, right? So your strategy we're going to talk strategy real quick. We got this health bet challenge coming up. January 7th or 9th? One or the other. It's the first Monday in January. That's not New Year's Day. It's going to be amazing. The last health bet challenge we had was gangbusters. And this time, the pot then was a minimum of $1 million. Now the pot's a minimum of $2 million. So that $16.34 we all got, that would be doubled now if we had the same amount of people. That would be $32, right? Hey, it's not about how much money. People get really excited at the thought of winning anything. Yeah, I can win money just for working out. Yes. So strategy, you post every day your workout pics. And when I say do a Transformation Tuesday blitz, blitz, because people like to see real people getting results. And they like to see different people, not just you, but other people. And especially if they're people you are working with. Like, this is one of the challengers in my current group. Look at what she accomplished. I'm so proud of her. So you got to do that. And then you post on your Facebook page that you are having this health bet challenge. You have your compelling post, right, that says, hey, who wants to get paid to get fit? That's what I did last time, and that's what I'm doing again because it worked. Who wants to get paid to get fit? And there's all, you can do some fun pictures of yourself, like, whatever. I mean, you can Google it. Google Beachbody Health Bet, and you will find what people did last time. You will find pictures. And use that as inspiration. And then you create an event for the Beachbody, for not Beachbody, I call it Get Paid to Get Fit. Whatever you want to call it, but you create an event. Why do you create an event? So you have something a place to hold people, kind of. You also have a place to invite people. So then you invite as many people as you can to your event, and Facebook will max you out at a certain number of people. So if you have 4,800 friends, you can't invite all 4,800, but you still have this event, and you can share it, right? You can share and say, hey, we're getting ready to start. You can post in your event, and that will show up on your news feed. And then, so we have strategy 1, you post your own workouts every day. Strategy 2, you post that you're having this challenge. Strategy 3, you create an event. And strategy 4, now you start messaging every single person on your Facebook friends list and say, hey, I just wanted to make sure you saw I am hosting this health bet challenge again. It was so popular in September. We're doing it again. Get paid to get fit. Do you have any fit goals you want to tackle starting in January? Everybody's got fit goals they want to tackle starting in January. And that's what you do. That's your strategy. And you start conversations. People will start talking to you. Some people will not talk to you. They will ignore your message. Some people aren't on Facebook Messenger and never see your message. Don't take it personally. But you ask, because people are waiting to be asked. They're waiting to be made to feel important. Remember that. If you want to take a little extra time, then you can go to their Facebook page and see what's going on in their life real quick. And I don't mean scroll through the past 6 months of pictures. I mean quick. Last couple posts. Okay. Hey, Susie, it looks like you had a fabulous time on your Disney World trip. I am so jealous. We would love to take the kids there again before they get too old. Hey, by the way, I just want to make sure. And you're going to say, that sounds so stupid. It's not stupid. Oh, now she knows I just reached out to her because I want to invite her to this challenge. So, is it a bad thing that you want to invite her to this challenge? You're offering to help her. And she may say, oh yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, the kids are just doing great. And yeah, we do that every year. It's our favorite place to go. And she may not even respond to your invite. But you still started a conversation with her. You've still made her feel important. You've still said, hey, I took the time to see what's going on. Don't scroll her news feed. It will take you forever. But you can take 30 seconds for each invite and take a look and see what's going on and then post. Okay? That's your strategy. That's the way it's done. Is it too salesy to post the Beachbody transformation pic? No. Yeah, when all else fails, go to the Beachbody pages on Facebook and find a picture, and you can post that picture. I don't really recommend sharing it from that page necessarily because sometimes they have links in there hey, if you want to buy, click here to buy the Core de Force or whatever. I don't know, Jen, do you have a preference on that? Do you share pics from the Beachbody pages, or do you?
Some of the transformation pictures, if I have nothing from the team or available or nothing of my own to share, I'll sometimes go there and look for transformation pictures. Sometimes I share Shakeology recipe cards. things like that. But otherwise, but I don't share using the share button.
Sometimes if you, like a lot of times you'll see a picture that is linked to their success story in the Team Beachbody website. And I will, from the Team Beachbody website, I might share it from there. Just again, so whenever you share something from another page, you're actually giving that page credit. So you want to make sure you know who you're giving credit to. Mm-hmm. And again, on the Facebook pages for Beachbody, a lot of times they might have links that go back to the beachbody.com website, so like with the Core de Force page. Anytime there's a link to purchase Core de Force, it goes back to the beachbody.com, and we don't want to drive our customers there. So that's just something to keep in mind. So, yeah, I mean, Sharina, I don't know. She says when she posts transformations of others, she doesn't get a lot of interaction, but when she does herself, she does. I don't know. I get reaction from both. For me, I don't really have transformation pictures, so I really have to share other people's stuff to make a big impact. And so, I get good response from that, especially like with Core de Force when those test group pictures were coming out. That's how I filled my Core de Force challenge group, was pictures of other people's transformations. Anything else that people want to ask? This is really more of a mental mindset call, and I hope that that's helpful, because that is where it starts. You have to have a belief, and I didn't start out that way. I did not start out believing that I could be a successful network marketer. I did not start out believing that network marketing was the bee's knees and a little bit more. I did not start out having the confidence that I knew how to do this and that I could do it. I didn't start out that way, but I really, 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 really wanted it to work. Once I understood that it could, and fortunately, as I was learning the business, I was also feeding my mind at the same time. And that's how I was able to start making those transitions from, I don't think I can, to, well, maybe I can, to, well, I can, because they say I can, and because other people can, and why not me? I had to do that all at the same time. If you're a newer coach and you're not feeding your mind, that's why you're stuck. If you're a seasoned coach and you're not growing in your business, it's probably because you're not feeding your mind. And if you are feeding your mind and you're still not growing, well, maybe it's because you're not taking action, right, on all the things that you know. Sometimes we can, I won't even go there. There's lots of things. There's a lot of, same thing with building your own business. And in this business, helping our challengers, there's so much psychology involved in it. It's so personal. Health and fitness is so personal. And doing what you want to do with the business is personal, because it feels really personal, and it is. You're talking about how you want to feed your family someday. Or you're talking about, well, I love my job, but yeah, it would be super nice and to be able to buy Christmas presents for cash and not have to put them on a credit card. Oh, I would love to be able to take my kids on a spring break trip and not have to worry about how we were going to pay for it. That's what this can be. Save that money for something like that. Set those goals. Okay, if I make $250 a month for the next 6 months, that's my X fund. If I double that and start making $500, that's my XY fund. Oh, when I'm at $1,000 a month, that's my mortgage fund, right? So that's, how you grow this business. But you do need to do those basics. It starts with working out every day and posting about it every day. And don't be salesy. Don't do the things you see other people do that you don't like. Just don't do it. I've had enough people tell me from my posts and my messages that the reason they chose me is because I was not pushy and I was not salesy. So I have to believe them, even though that part of me that wants everyone to always like me, might have said, and it doesn't so much anymore, but It used to say, oh, this feels a little like I'm trying to sell them something. Well, I am, but I'm only wanting to do that if it's something that can help them, right? It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. There are definitely worse ways to make a living. Way worse. We are out here for people's good. So make people feel important. Remember how important you are. Remember how amazing you are. Remember how extraordinary you are. You have extraordinary in you. Think about that little baby that was learning to walk and never gives up. If a baby doesn't give up, why the heck would you? There you go. Life summed up in one sentence. If the baby doesn't give up, why the heck would you? So don't give up. You are amazing. That's what I want to say.